Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan. And what I'd like to do today is introduce you all to some tips and tricks on how to write a courier service business plan. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. First is a little bit about me, then we're going to talk about you and your needs for a courier service business plan. First and foremost, I am a professional writer and a business plan writer. So if you need a little bit of help writing up your business plan, you want to avoid all the trials and tribulations related to writing a business plan, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text. Love to hear from you. Love to help you out with your business plan. If you do want to write your own business plan, at least start with some kind of a foundation or guide. And from that, just visit my site over at Amazon.com. And just go ahead and pick up one of my books over there on business plan writing. And finally, I am an adjunct professor and also a subject matter expert in both business and finance. So I do have some educational background supporting my love for writing, specifically business plans. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about your courier service and some tips and tricks for writing up a business plan for it. So tip number one is to tell a story. In your company description, a lot of organizations or a lot of business owners for courier services, what they'll do is they'll just dive right into it and just start talking about their company, how it's going to operate, where it's going to operate, how many employees they're going to have, their competitive advantages and stuff. And that's all fine and good. However, you really haven't set the stage for why you want to start this business. Is it a passion? Did something happen to you that drove you to say, aha, I should be an entrepreneur, and my entrepreneur love is going to be delivery or a courier service. And that love or that passion or that drive can have come from several different avenues. You could have experienced lost packages time and time again. And from these lost packages, you decided that you can go ahead and start a courier service and you can do it better than the other organizations. Or you might have needed an item from the store and you couldn't leave, for whether it be you didn't have a car or you had a baby sleeping, but that need, you needed something from the store, you didn't have any way to get it, thus now you had to go without. And yes, courier services now are even picking up grocery stores or going to the stores for even individual items. So that's, when you're doing your courier service, think outside of the box. Yeah, traditionally it would be pick up papers from a title company or an attorney and deliver it to somewhere else, a doctor's office or where what have you. But that business model, that structure has gone the way of the dodo bird. And when you're thinking of your courier service, think bigger, think wider, think original. So there's a lot of items that people do need picked up and delivered, and a courier service is well aligned to meet those needs. All right, next is going to be tip number 2, industry research. A lot of courier services business owners, what they're going to do is they're going to jump on the internet and start taking a look at all the other courier services in the area, and they're going to start comparing and contrasting services or quality of services or reviews or what have you. And when you put that information into a business plan, you haven't set the stage that you're an industry expert. Who are you to be judging somebody else when you don't even have a company yet? And that's a perspective that a reader is going to have. In order to mitigate or completely avoid that problem, when I do my industry research, I always go at a national level. I'm going to take a look at what the national trends are. I'm going to go to information sources like Statistica or IBIS World, and I'm going to summarize the information found on a national level. In summarizing that information, I'm going to talk about the industry growth rate. For example, the courier service growth rate right now annually is 5%. Not too shabby for a mature industry such as that. Also, the market size is $116 billion. Also, when courier services are going to be doing a lot of deliveries for online orders. Online orders or a complementary industry is growing substantially as well. So as the online order or the online retail stores, their industry continues to grow, then in tandem, your courier service business is going to grow as well. And so that's the kind of correlation you can also touch on in your business plan. Once you set the foundation that you are an industry expert, that you've done the research, you've identified what the customer trends are, you identify what the national trends are, you've identified the needs on a national basis, then you are in a position to go ahead and take a look at your competitors and include that in your business plan. And when you're analyzing your competitors, make sure you compare the competitors to national trends. For example, if a national trend is delivering groceries from grocery stores to the consumer, and your other courier services are not doing that, well, now you've identified a trend on a national level, and B, a need not met at your local level. And so now you've established that you're industry expert. You're showing that your competitors are not, and now you are able to present the gap of services that you are going to be able to fill, and now you've got a better increased likelihood of obtaining funding, or just coming off as an industry expert. All right, tip number 3, advertising. Almost all courier services love the big threes: the social media, the website, and the word-of-mouth advertising. They are huge, especially the word-of-mouth advertising. If you deliver groceries for neighbor A, guess what? When neighbor A is out mowing the lawn, they're going to be talking to neighbor B, and neighbor B says, "Where'd you get your groceries?" And they're going to say this. It's going to happen. Word-of-mouth is huge. However, what is really missing from my experience when talking to courier service entrepreneurs is mailers. The mailers, the post office is, quote unquote competitor. But when you are a delivery service, especially a local delivery service, you're going to be targeting a specific geographical area usually, because you want to be able to maximize your time, maximize your gas, and so on. When you do a mailer to a specific area, you are going to be reaching a broad range of individuals in a nice, tight area at and you're going to be doing it in an affordable way. So yes, do your social media, yes, do your website, yes, push your word of mouth, but don't forget the mailers. Mailers are huge because, of the geographic location that you're going to be working in, and the, the funding that's available for the mailers. It's cost effective is what it is. All right, tip number 4, when you're doing your funding request, first and foremost, when you're doing your funding request, you do want to state specifically how much money you need to start your business, and that dollar amount needs to be on the first line of the funding request. And don't put a range. If you put a range, I need $75,000 to $150,000. Well, A, that's a huge range, and B, it shows the reader that you really have no idea how much money you need. I mean, be specific. Put an exact dollar amount on the top line of your funding request. For example, in starting my courier service, our organization will need $70,000 to start operations. Once you go ahead and identify the specific dollar amount, then what you're going to do is you're going to break that dollar amount into categories. You might have to go ahead and get a warehouse for storage, and that's going to cost you $50,000 for a build out. You might need working capital to keep the lights on. That could be $10,000. You might have to go ahead and put a down payment on a truck. That could be $5,000. You may need some inventory, and the inventory could be, dollies, or it can be, you might be doing packaging for an organization so you can go ahead and deliver their goods. Whatever the inventory is, make sure to put a dollar amount into each category. And once you've identified all the categories that you need to go ahead and fund in order to start up, then total all those categories at the bottom, and that dollar amount after you total all the categories should be identical to your top line funding request number. By following that structure, first you're going to be showing that you know exactly how much money you need, but once you break into the categories, you're now going to have some wiggle room in these categories. For example, build out, you're not going to go ahead and put flooring and paint and wallpaper and screws and nails. You're not going to break it out into that much detail. You're just going to put a budgeted amount. So now you've got the wiggle room in the body, but you're showing that you're very decisive at the top by identifying a specific dollar amount. Tip number 5, projections. If you need funding, and every business that I've ever seen, that I've ever started, any business owner that I've ever worked with, they all need funding, whether it's the actual business owner coming out of pocket with all the money, or if they are borrowing money from friends, family, or a bank. You're going to need a little bit of money. And when you start your organization, you want to be able to show that you're going to be able to afford to repay the money if it's a debt, or you want to be able to just show that you're going to be making a profit. From that, you're going to need a basic profit and loss statement in any good, well-written business plan. Here is just a basic structure that I recommend. It's definitely not something that I use. I've got a little bit more in-depth of a financial model, but this is definitely a starting point just to ascertain whether it's going to be profitable to start a courier service for you. So when the first line right here, when you're developing your basic profit and loss statement for your courier service, identify your revenue channels. Your revenue channels could be delivering packages, it could be groceries, or it could be other. The next thing you got to do is you got to identify the price. For example, right here, every package you deliver, you might be able to make $35. Then you're going to identify the variable cost. The variable cost for delivery service, it may be the average miles that you're going to drive. For example, if it's 20 miles you're going to drive on an average delivery, then what you're going to do is you're going to divide the 20 miles into a gas price. So example, if your car gets 60 miles to a gallon and you drive 60 miles on average, then you're going to be doing $1 is going to be your variable cost. So you're going to identify your variable cost, and it's going to be in terms of gasoline. And once you identify your variable cost in this example right here, it's going to be 65 cents. You're going to subtract your variable cost from your price, and that's going to give you your gross profit. In this example, $28.50. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to identify how many deliveries you think you can go ahead and make on a daily basis. In this example, I'm saying that we're able to make 20 deliveries right out the gate. You're going to then take your 20 deliveries and you're going to multiply it by your gross profit. Again, in this example, it's going to give us $570. You are then going to follow the same process for each revenue channel that you're going to have. So you're going to follow the same process for groceries and for other, and then you're going to total up your gross profits right here. This is going to be your daily gross profits. In order to kick this into a monthly term, you're going to multiply your gross profits by days in the month you're going to operate, in this example 30, and the result is going to be monthly gross profits of $26,340. Next, you're going to identify what your monthly fixed costs are. You may have a loan that you have to pay on a monthly basis of $250. Your inventory might be $700. Labor could be $6,500, including a little bit of money for you. Then you've got your rental space, $4,500. Utilities, marketing, definitely want to do the marketing. Legal, insurance, accounting, $750. And then miscellaneous of $400. Once you identify all of your fixed costs, you add it up, in this example, $16,300. Now, once you have this foundation of you know what your basic gross profits are and your monthly fixed costs, you're then going to go ahead and figure out your profits. To do that, you're going to bring down your $26,340 right here under monthly profits. Then you're going to bring down your monthly costs, $16,300. You're going to plug it in right here. And then finally, you are going to subtract your monthly costs from your gross profits. In this example, it gives us a net profit of $10,040. By following this process and building this basic financial model, you can then start changing some of your costs. If your gasoline price starts to go up, you can start changing your variable cost. And once you do that, all these numbers should roll over and it should automatically calculate net profits. If you're delivering more packages on a daily basis, so kick this up from 20 to 25, and then again, your net profits are going to show accordingly. In summary, when you are writing your delivery company business plan, make sure to follow a proven format. If you start with a Word document, a blank screen, you very well could be staring at that blank screen for many, many minutes, many hours, or heck, even days. You don't want to fall into that trap of just not being able to start. So follow a proven process or a proven format. Go to your SBA website. They've got some templates on there that are really good, general templates that a business owner can use. You can reformat that to your courier service business needs, but it's a start, and it beats the heck out of staring at a blank screen. Next, make sure to keep the star of the show your courier service. Just because you've been delivering items since you were wee high, and this has been a passion, and you've been doing it all your life, and you love doing it. That's fantastic. That's a great foundation. But don't make you the star of the show. Make it the business. Show them that you know how to run the business. You know the components of it, that you've done the research, and you're able to put together the financial projections. Keep the star of the show as a business. And finally, contact me if you need some help writing a business plan. If you need a already customized business plan template that is customized for a local delivery service, again, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I'd be absolutely delighted to help. If you do want some more information on writing your own business plan for a courier service, I do have an in-depth, I do have some more tips and tricks on my website. Just go to qualitybusinessplan.com/how to write a courier service business plan. And once you're there, I'll just go through it, mostly on through it. I've got some tips and tricks on how to write each section of the business plan. And finally, if you do want a courier service business plan template, I am in the process of writing one up. In this template, you're going to have up-to-date industry research, and you're also going to have just some basic financial projections. But the big thing is you're going to get a Word document, and you're going to get a financial model in an Excel spreadsheet that's already customized for a courier service. If it's not on my website, then just send me a message. I'll move the courier service template up to the top, and I can usually have it ready within 24 to 48 hours. All right, so hopefully this video was helpful. And if you liked it, give me a thumbs up on YouTube. If you need some assistance, give me a call. And regardless, have a fantastic day. Thank you.